I was just saying this week I got to hang out with if you guys know the story of like Dog Bud and P Bud, like how P Bud it like kind of led to the chems. I got to hang out with P Bud, right? And I always heard the stories of like P Bud and like Chem 4. Chem 4 is like my favorite strain ever, and Chem D. And I'm sitting there hanging out with him, and he's just literally just run of the mill, salt of the earth, normal human guy. And it just hit home where it's like, man, when you fan out like that, one of the things you're doing is kind of undermining yourself. Like you're putting them up on this, like they're special, they're doing these things. It's like, no, dude. Everyone had to just pick up a seed, pick up a watering can, start, man. Literally, Chem D. The reason I didn't know this, Chem D is called Chem D is because he had 4 of the seeds that were coming out of like the dog bud, and he labeled them E, C, D, and F, and they all died except for D. And Chem D is now what we have for there. It's just like, so how do we get Chem D? Because some dude just popped the seed. It was the lottery ticket, and then you're out, you know? So work, man. And document your work. Put it on the internet, even if no one watches.
Yeah. Yep. Bag seed. All that Chem Dog stuff was bag seed. Google, everybody out there in the weed world, Google, it's part of your, if you're going to be a weed head, a weed nerd, Google Chem Dog and the Legend of the 13 Beans and read that story. And read about that Grateful Dead concert run and P-Bud and Asshole Joe and fucking learn about where those seeds came from and where all that Chem Dog lineage came from. That's in almost everything we smoke now. It's got that Chem Dog in it.
What region of the United States was that all being bred at?
Florida. All Florida. I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's fucking
and
wild.
then he's sunburned cannabis. I told him, I was like, dude, you're living right. I had no clue he was sunburned. I just keep hearing sunburned cannabis. I keep hearing it left and right. So they're doing good stuff down there in Florida.
That's fucking wild. Because it's like the West Coast to me had innovated all these varieties for so long, and for something out of Florida like OG Kush and all these chems to just come and just wreck and dominate. I mean, absolutely dominate.
Can't forget about the TK. Throw the triangle cushion there too.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy how it is regional. Like GMO was the one that really kind of pointed it out for me. But traditionally, like when I think of like West Coast and stuff, we always like indicas. We like the sedative. We're like, chill, man, California. But then whenever I think of East Coast, I think of like hazes, piff, like that uppity, like speedy, like kind of weed. So there was like regionally difference. But GMO to me is what really stuck it out, because I think it was like 2018 or 2019 when it really started to show up in Washington. And I'm just like, wow, this thing's pretty good. You know, this like new thing. And then I say new thing to a guy in Michigan, which is where it comes out of. He's like, dude, we've had that for like 6-7 years already. Yeah. And I think back to a lot of the Mendocino stuff. I'm like, sometimes the new thing has actually been around like 10 years. Yeah. But it's regional. It's just pockets, right? You know?
Like, and I think Jeff could probably speak to that, because like he has a creation that I think people are maybe not sleeping on called the Machine. And so talk about that, Jeff. Talk about how you create that and then build up that whole, I mean, it's not really marketing, but I mean, in a sense it is. You've made this creation and now you have to get it to the masses. And so like, what are some of the things that kind of help get things to the masses would be my question.
A good name. It sounds crazy, but a good name. If I name something the wrong thing, it won't go anywhere.